everybody, to another episode of Blue Jays Buzz. Here with you today, we have Drew,
and Gru.
Yeah, so we have the whole squad is here today.
Woo!
And by the whole squad, I don't just mean Drew, and Gru.
We got editor.
I mean the one and only editor,
Mickey D.
Yeah, we got editor Mickey D with us today. Editor Mickey D makes all of our episodes so much better. And
so much more
here we go.
stupid at the same time.
Yeah. So, on the order of business, the first priority, the bird sure is the word, is to talk about Alec Manoah. Alec Manoah. Where do we start? Okay. So, Yariel Rodriguez has been put on the IL by the Toronto Blue Jays. That is official.
What was it for again?
It's been official for a few days now. It's some back thing.
Yeah, that's good.
And the biggest thing with this Rodriguez thing is that now the Blue Jays only have 4 starters.
Who's going to be that 5th guy?
I don't know. That's the question. Alec Manoah could step in. And the way that Alec Manoah steps in, he just had an awesome start.
12
By
Ks.
far his best start of the season.
We're seeing improvement for him.
We sure are seeing improvement.
It's great.
And what happens now with Alec Manoah is that the Blue Jays have the choice to either A, call him up, B, leave him down there,
And go with 4.
which is not a very good option,
Yeah, bad idea.
or C, wait for Bowden Francis to be off the IL and
But
try
then-
him as a starter again, even though he has not been a good starter.
Can I step in here?
For sure.
If we wait for Bowden Francis, then that would still mean that we're waiting with 4 until he comes back.
We are, exactly. So
I think what we have to do right now, in my opinion, I don't think it's good to have a rotation
I would
with only 4. I think we should bring him up again to see how he's like. Maybe something's changed, right? Because he had a great performance. I know one thing isn't everything, but we could try it.
Yeah.
I think we should do that, and we can see what
Yeah,
happens.
Rodriguez went on the IL, and Zach Pop got called up in replacement of Yariel Rodriguez. And, but Zach Pop is not a starter. Quite simply, Zach Pop is not a starter. And if the Blue Jays want to have a 5th starter, Alec Manoah, after trading Mitch White and Wes Parsons, seems like the most logical option to be that 5th starter.
Yeah, so I kind of agree with Drew on this, and about bringing Manoah up and how he had a great start, and even a lower I know how he got 12 Ks, even getting 9 Ks or 10 Ks in the major leagues, which would still be good. But I think before bringing him out and starting him for the Jays, he needs to have a similar start to this one. Because one start is not,
it's not everything. He has to prove himself still.
Yeah, anyone can have a really good start.
Yeah.
I give him a shot.
Exactly.
No, but I don't think he needs another good start.
No.
In the stage of desperation that the Blue Jays are at right now,
Yeah, we can't roll with 4. We have to change
cannot roll with
something.
4. Something has to change.
We're behind the
After one good
Oakland
start,
Athletics.
it's good enough.
Yeah, this is bad.
We're behind the A's. We're barely ahead of the Astros.
Actually, are we
It
still
is
behind
not-
the A's?
I think we're tied with the A's.
Yeah, exactly tied with the A's. Win percentage, everything. Yeah, we
Yeah.
are exactly tied with them.
So we are very close.
But we are actually ahead of the Rays and the Astros still. So that's a good thing. Chicago White Sox, just on another note, absolutely terrible. 194 win percentage.
They're 6-25.
That is horrible.
They are by far the worst team. In the league. The Rockies are also not doing very well.
Same thing with the Marlins.
But that doesn't really affect
the Blue Jays, since they're another.
the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Texas 17-15.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they're really good clutch. I feel
the Rangers? Yeah, because they
The
got
Rangers
a
are good
Corey
clutch.
Seager, all those guys.
Yeah.
They know how to do it at the right times. That's how they
But
won the
with-
World Series.
With Alec Manoah, the most important thing is to make sure that we transition and keep this 5-man rotation.
Yes.
It is this team did a 4-man rotation last year. Bassett's already struggling.
Yeah.
We
Although
know.
Bassett last year was not bad.
I understand, but he was with him already struggling. Why put the extra strain?
No, I agree. I'm agreeing
On him with a 4-man rotation.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Gosman. Gosman hasn't gotten off to a great start.
Although, hold on. May I add something to what you just said? Kevin Gosman, his last 3 starts, he's thrown 18.2 innings. He's given up 2 earned runs with an ERA of 0.96. He is back and he is cooking.
Back. He's cooking. But, this offense can't seem to score more than 0.96 runs.
No, I know. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That really makes him look
bad. It makes him look worse than he's playing.
His record, though, even though he is, even though he's, what's it called? Even though...
You got it, Connor.
Even though he has a .96 ERA over his past 3 starts, even though he has a .96 ERA over his past start, I believe his record is still 1-2 over those last few starts, and his record all year is 2-5.
What's their runs per game? Do you know?
So I'm in the process of making a Talking MLB with Fru video about this.
Do we know what it is? Because
I believe over the last few games, it's 3.47 average runs per game. That's skewed, though, by the 6 runs they scored in 3 games ago.
Yeah.
And with that being said, before that, they had gone over 3 weeks without scoring 5 or more runs.
Yeah. I will say, one thing, last year they were bad with clutch. This year, oh my gosh. Guys, collectively, they're batting 192 with runners in scoring position with an OPS of 556.
It's just straight awful, to be honest. It's embarrassing.
Terrible.
And, this Blue Jays team is not good enough to be running a 4-man rotation with the state of this lineup right now. You cannot be putting any more strain on these starters than you already are. They're already throwing so many stressful pitches, and the starters have said that themselves. They literally call them stressful pitches. It just can't happen.
No, it can't.
And so I think you have to call up Elly Manoah.
I agree.
And I think it's a good time for them to call up Elly Manoah because they're playing a team like the Nationals, which does not have the best offense.
I think they should really try Manoah against the Nationals or a team that's not somewhere close to the Dodgers, as they can, if the offense is good, which I'm guessing is not really going to be, but if they can put up 5 runs or 4 runs.
Yeah, I mean,
Elly Manoah starting, I think it's a good idea because it gives him a chance.
It gives him confidence, too.
Also, in the majors, it's a lot more stressful. And
yeah.
I think that might get to Elly Manoah.
I think starting him, I think starting him against a team that isn't like the Yankees or the Orioles,
Yeah, I agree.
Who are absolute powerhouses, or the Braves or the Phillies, anything like that, right? You get my point. I think it's a chance to give him confidence, right? Which is what he needs now.
I feel
we need to build him back up. We need to hype him up here, right?
I feel like he really needs confidence because I feel like he's kind of got demotivated.
I agree.
Of in general baseball of how he's performed because he was
totally
the starting pitcher for the All-Star game, and then the next year he was pulled down to the minors.
Yeah, it was.
That is a very rare thing to happen in MLB.
Everything dropped. Yes. We just need to build everything back up.
Yes, I agree.
There you go.
The biggest thing as well with Manoah. The biggest thing as well with Elly Manoah is that his job as a pitcher is to give them a chance to win. His job is not to go 7 shutout innings. His job is to give them a chance to win. And the biggest thing right now is that's just quite frankly his job, and he needs to do his job to a T. Okay, so with the Blue Jays, their offense just simply isn't good enough. Manoah's job is to give them a chance to win, and if he does that, I don't think you can be complaining.
No,
I agree. I agree. You can't.
And then with the Nationals, let's try and tee up the series against the Nationals right now. The Blue Jays need to win this series.
Oh, absolutely.
Put quite simply, they need to win this series. And ideally, like Gru said, they need a sweep. Because
that would help us a lot with our ranking, too.
we would get back over 500 if we sweep this Nationals team that is not very good. And, like, it has to... We need to win this series.
I absolutely agree with you. I do want to say something. Even if we do sweep the series and get back over 500, we'll be in the same spot in our division. But it would help us a little bit in terms of the wild card. We go up a spot, and
Yeah, well...
And finally, we'd be allowed to say that we're better than the A's.
Yeah, jeez. Like, we're being compared to the A's and the White Sox with our offense. Like, it's not, it's bad.
Which you're making a video about.
It's really bad.
Yes, it is true.
Their defense is fine. They need, like, they're below average on, I feel like, this offense.
Yes.
They need to get people who can string stuff together and hit literally just singles.
Are you saying, like,
They are
Clutch
100.
doing
They are
it consistently?
100% below average. They're in the bottom
Yes, I know.
three in the
If you
league
watch the World
for runs
Series,
per game. They're compared to the Athletics and the White Sox. They're 100% below average.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
if you watch the Texas in general, especially in the World Series,
They know how to do it.
which
They
is
get
more
it
stressful.
done.
they string stuff together, hit after hit, to get runs. I feel like
We don't do that.
a lot of the runs come from just home runs, and if it's a multi-home run, it's a walk, or at least
Yes.
one hit.
The problem is our runs don't come from home runs because nobody's hitting any home runs either.
Yeah.
It's
Except for Justin Turner.
in Varsho.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If we
And
get
the-
any runs,
Yeah, if
Actually,
if
I
we-
will add something. George Springer may or may not be like second on the team in home runs. Just to add that.
That's not good.
No.
He got 2 home runs in the first 2 games of the season.
Sorry,
It's not
David
good in any
Schneider's
sense.
tied with him. Dalton Varsho's in the lead. Vladdy also has 3. Justin Turner's in second.
Vladdy needs to get.
Vladdy
singles.
needs more. Vladdy needs more.
He needs more hits.
Vladdy has been doing fine in getting hits over the past
it's
few
extra
games.
base hits and stuff like that.
He hasn't got a home run in forever.
Yeah.
Like,
And the ribbies matter a lot too. We need those ribbies in those clutch situations. I'm assuming you all know what ribbies mean. RBS.
yeah,
Just wanted to clarify there.
the Blue Jays, most of the Blue Jays' batting averages are below 230. That's not very good. And, like, it's not good. Turner's average has dipped below 300 recently.
Yes.
Pretty big.
Vladdy, hold on. Can we talk about this Vladdy and IKF average? Or is that against Corbin? That's against Corbin.
That's against Corbin. But,
Never mind, everyone.
we can talk about the IKF's average and Vladdy's average. Because right now, IKF is hitting an even 250, and
That's
Vladdy
not bad.
is hitting a nice, beautiful 231. Yeah.
Justin Turner is, of course, batting 298.
298, so it's pretty much
Highest on the
300.
team.
Yeah, highest
It is
on the
by
team.
far
Ernie
the highest on
Clement.
the team.
Ernie Clement, we can now comfortably say that he is the second best batting average. Then it's David Schneider and IKF tied for third.
Yeah, and then to check in on some of the other stuff happening around the league, we have Drew with an announcement on one of the most hyped up prospects in their generation. Here it is.
All right, everyone. I want to talk about Elly de la Cruz. This guy emerged last season, right? There lots of hype, and pretty much, you guys probably have heard about it. He's on pace for a historic 40-90 season. Last year, Ronald Acuna Jr. did something that no one thought was possible with a 40-70 season. That is 20 more stolen bases. That is crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Right now, he has gotten 8 home runs and 18 stolen bases. He's batting .280 with a .389 on base percentage and a .968 OPS. Those are very good numbers. what I'm wondering is, do you guys think he will actually follow the predictions? That people have been
Unfortunately,
making?
I have to be honest here. I don't think he will follow the predictions.
Do you think he will get close though? Like a 47.
I think he can get a 30-60.
Okay.
A 30-60?
Yes, that's fine.
Maybe even a 30-50 on the lower end. And this is because a ton of people have hot starts. We saw it with Matt Chapman last year. It really, I think he was projected to have 42 home runs after the month of April. And
yeah, he was the April monthly
and he ended
player
up
of the year in
hitting
MLB The Show.
17. But anyway, so no, I don't think it's gonna happen because 40 and 90 is next to impossible.
But I do
And I think, unfortunately, like every other player, Elly will go on the injured list at some point this year. And even if it's a minimum IL stint, like 15 games, it's
definitely
still an
matters.
IL stint, and 15 games with the pace that he's on, he probably loses 20 stolen bases and 4 home runs,
Okay.
which is a lot.
But still, even in like a 30-50 season, that's pretty damn
It is
good.
pretty damn good, and it's better than any
And
of the
it's
Blue Jays are
coming
going
from
to
someone
get.
who's in their second season in the MLB.
And is a switch hitter.
And is a switch hitter.
Yeah,
And he's in it. Like, this guy's doing things that, like, a lot of people can't even imagine doing. And he's 22.
yeah, he fell off at the end of last year, and
But
it
he
looks
looks like
like
he's
he's
back.
picking it back up. If you look on his baseball savant page, there's a whole ton of red on there. A lot of red. He is a very, very, very good baseball player.
What do we want to move on to next, guys?
Anything else on the Elly De La Cruz situation, or
The Redman.
any other thoughts?
Red means great.
So yeah, so
I think that's it. I just wanted
Think that's
to
it?
note that this guy's doing crazy things.
he is doing awesome. And then Mike Trout, no more news on him, unfortunately.
Or meniscus in that left knee. It's gonna hurt the Angels. I mean, they're already terrible, but it's gonna hurt them even more.
What's the record? What's the Angels' record?
I
they're
think
bad.
it's a bit worse than the Blue Jays. It's
11 and 20.
11 and 20, so it's actually quite a bit
355.
worse than the
Like,
Blue
that's
Jays.
bad.
But yeah, and then in the National League, or look around the league, we have, as you may expect, the Braves and the Dodgers are doing Braves and Dodgers things. The Dodgers are 20 and 13.
The Brewers
The
and the
Braves are
Phillies.
20 and 9. The Brewers and the Phillies are
They're
both
doing their
doing
thing.
very, very well.
Cubs, Reds.
I'm
Mets.
happy. As tough as the AL East is, I'm happy that we're not fighting for the NL wild card. I think
Really?
it's tougher than the AL wild card, because with the AL wild card, usually at the end of the season you have 4 teams fighting for 3 spots. Like last year it was Toronto, Texas, Seattle, and one other team. Who was the
Rays?
other team?
No.
Yes, and the Rays.
Yes, Rays. No Twins.
No, and the Rays, because the Twins won the Central.
Did they? Oh, they
But
did.
that's 4 teams competing for 3 spots, which is still very, very tough, as we
Yes.
know as Blue Jays fans. But in the National League, you have like 6 teams competing for 3 spots, which is much, much, much tougher than 4 teams.
Yes.
I agree.
And then, yeah, so look around the standings. The Blue Jays are officially 4th in they're tied for 4th, also tied for 5th in the AL East. Or no, they are in 4th. The Rays are in 5th. The Red Sox are at 18 and 14. They are in 3rd. The Yankees have a 20 and 13 record. They are doing very well. They are in 2nd. And the Orioles, with a 20 and 11 record,
In first.
are in 1st.
With a
The Blue Jays,
645 wins.
the Red Sox are a half game back from the wild card. The Blue Jays are 3.5 games back from the wild card, and the Rays are 4.5 games. The Guardians lead the AL Central, and the Royals are half a game up in the AL wild card race. They
The
currently have a
Mariners
spot
are in first in the
in
AL
the West.
and
The
then
Mariners
the
are winning,
Rangers.
then the Rangers, and then surprisingly the Oakland Athletics and
Are
the
next.
Astros and Angels are tied for last, with each of them having an 11 and 20 record.
Yes.
In the NL, we have the Braves in first, and then the Phillies,
Phillies
and then the
second.
rest of the teams are somewhat irrelevant. And then
Well, the Mets are actually
They're
in
above
the
500,
last wild card
but-
spot right now.
in the NL Central, we have the Brewers, the Cubs, and the
the
Reds
Reds.
fighting for first place. In the NL West, the Dodgers are leading by quite a
In my
bit.
opinion, the NL West
In
is
the
the
Dodgers,
easiest division
it
in
is by
baseball.
far the easiest division. The Dodgers are the only team there above
You guys are
500.
doing so well.
And then the
With the
yeah,
Dodgers in there, it's like it's almost unfair. Or like I don't mean
They don't just play those teams, you know.
Yes, I know, but to play them mostly against one of the teams that has arguably a roster that is the best in
It should be
MLB.
the
illegal.
Blue Jays are tied for 4th.
It is it's really hard for any of those teams to compete.
There are
with
3 games there are 4 teams either tied or ahead of the Blue Jays in the wild card race.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be very interesting to see how this shakes out.
Oh, it's
Come
true. We got
August
a
or
long
September.
season ahead of us.
We do.
But thank you for listening. Share the podcast. Follow on Spotify. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. If you're not subscribed on YouTube and you're watching this, I have no idea what you're doing. And then we have
Follow
joined
us.
X. I will put the link in the description. Blue Jays Buzz. We're out.